Hello friends, today we're going to be talking about the super important topic of how to change limiting beliefs. Have you ever wondered if what you think about is holding you back from success? It's not uncommon to have thoughts come into your mind that might make you doubt your ability to perform or do things, but you should ask yourself, is that a belief that you have bought into that you now hold as something that's important to you? If it is a belief that you've bought into, you have a limiting belief. And today I want to talk about how we get rid of those and why they don't serve you. Think of your belief systems in accordance with the world around you. Are any of those beliefs limiting your ability to perform at the highest level possible? Think of others you know, and do their beliefs hold them back? The way that they think about things, does it hold them back from their highest performing self? Chances are we all have some degree of limiting beliefs around us, but the good news is we can actually get rid of them. We do not have to buy into them. So today we're going to be covering that topic, what limiting beliefs are, how we get rid of them, and how that it will impact our lives for the positive. Lastly, I want to jump into how changing our limiting beliefs can have a lasting positive effect in your life. If you're ready, let's go. So what is a limiting belief? It is just that. It's a belief that you have that limits your ability to perform. It is something in your life that you've come to say, this is core to my beliefs, that I don't think I can do this or I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I'm not deserving. I'm not worth it. It's a belief that is holding you back. It's a self-limiting belief. It's a limiting block that you have in your mind that is stopping you from progressing and becoming the best version of yourself. And a lot of times they're usually self-imposed, right? We come up with them ourselves. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, many years ago, I gave a TED Talk called The Essence of Emilio. Now, Emilio is my youngest son. We adopted him through foster care. We got him when he was 4 years old. And I remember the first night that we had Emilio in our home. Understand, he'd been in the foster system for a couple of years. I went downstairs and just, hey, good night, little dude. We'll see you in the morning. And his response back to me was, good night, Dad, love you, right? He didn't have any notion, right, of hate or not hate or love or not love. He just knew that he loved the person that was taking care of him. I thought it was a beautiful example to me of somebody who had no limitations on the way they thought about people and the world around them. And one thing about Emilio that I talked about in this TED Talk, and a lot of children have this, right? They have unlimited beliefs. They believe they can do anything. If you ask an 8-year-old what they want to be when they grow up, chances are it's anything. It's an astronaut, it's a football player, it's a rock star. They have no limitations. But what starts to happen as children grow and get older, a lot of times self-limiting beliefs are imposed upon them. And it might be by a well-intentioned educator, even a loving parent. Like if I were to go to say to my son, hey bud, us Petersons, we are no good at math, right? What happens when he has his bad grade in a math test? Dad's right, we're no good at math, right? Just because that's my belief or my limitation, I don't want to impose that on my children, because children come out of the womb perfect and pure with beliefs that exceed expectation. And a lot of times when we say we should become more like little children, I think that's one of the reasons why, is so we can get rid of the limitations we impose upon ourselves and we believe that the best is ahead of us. So what impact do limiting beliefs have on our life? They limit what we can do. They limit what we can accomplish. They limit our relationships. They limit so many things because it has been embedded as part of our belief system. And a lot of times they reside in our subconscious. So we don't even realize that we're limiting what we believe or what we can do because it's within our subconscious. So that becomes really tricky, right? So if those limiting beliefs are held within our subconscious, how do we get them out? How do we get rid of them? How do we move forward? There's a story that I like to share when it comes to limiting beliefs. There was a gentleman, he was an actor, and he was speaking at an event. He was staying at a hotel. Every day, every night when he returned from the event, he would walk past the front desk, and on the front desk table, there was a fishbowl with one goldfish inside of it. And he walked by each day, second night, third night. Finally, he's like, man, I feel bad on that fishbowl's being taken care of. So he asked the front desk, hey, can I buy this fish and fishbowl from you? They said, you know what? You can just go ahead and have it. It's just here. I'm not sure why it's here. So he took the fish in the fishbowl, took it upstairs. He filled the bathtub up all the way. What happened is that fish inside that fishbowl, when it was dumped into a larger body of water, guess what it did? It stayed within the confines of the fishbowl. It just started swimming within the confines of where it had been for a long, long time. Those limitations that were around it confined the environment around him. It wasn't until the gentleman put his hand in the water, started swishing it back and forth, till the fish realized that its world had changed. Its environment, which was once here, had now opened up, and possibilities were more endless than they were before. And a lot of times, we're like that fish in that fishbowl. We've been living in this confined headspace and mindset of limitations, but knowing that the world's opened up around us, we don't dare move out of those limitations that we've set upon ourselves. So how do we get rid of limiting beliefs? Number one, we have to realize we have them, right? So how do we realize we have limiting beliefs? If you've ever said anything to yourself like, oh, I just could never do what so-and-so does. Oh, that person's so good. I could never do that. No, I'm not deserving of that. Or if you've thought that in your mind, or you say, I'm not good enough. Maybe so-and-so could do that, but I never could. Chances are, if you said one of those phrases or thought one of those phrases, you have a limiting belief. And realizing that and understanding that, that's the first step with getting rid of them. And once you realize that you have a limiting belief, it takes constant effort on a regular basis in order to get rid of them. And one of the things that we do with the coaching that we do in-house is we really focus on helping people identify and remove self-limiting beliefs. We're the creator of our stories. We're the ones who've created these limiting beliefs. For us to get rid of them ourselves is really challenging. So sometimes it requires somebody outside of your own mind, outside of your own brain, to help you understand that you have them and understand how to get rid of them. That's why we do what we do. And when we've seen people that have vaulted past their limiting beliefs, it's been amazing, the success stories that have come into our organization. We absolutely love it. We thrive on it because once you change somebody's mindset, the way they think about themselves, if you help them remove limitations, their whole life opens up and great things start to happen. One other thing that's important to understand with limiting beliefs and why getting rid of them is so important is a lot of times those limitations, they're very low frequency waves, right? Low energy, low frequency. And a lot of times when we vibrate our energy or our frequency around us, if it's very low energy, we attract the same low energy, right? And so a lot of times that's why you see people when they say, oh, this sucks, that sucks. Chances are a lot of things suck around it because that's the vibe that they're putting off. That's their energy, that's their frequency. So if you can get rid of those, you start vibrating at a higher frequency and you start attracting higher frequency things into your life. It really is when Tesla said everything's vibrational, it's frequency. I really believe that because I've seen it happen with so many of our students that we've worked with. I'll share one kind of final story to wrap things up. I remember this one lady specifically that we started working with. She was in a really rough situation. She'd had a rough childhood. She'd had a rough marriage life. She was divorced. Everything hadn't gone her way. She'd lost her job. When we started working with her, she had so many self-limiting beliefs. And as we started to work with her and she started to realize she was amazing because she started realizing that she had bought into these, she had trapped these into her subconscious. And as she started working with our coaching team and realized that she was the one buying into this, that they helped her get rid of some of these through some constant work, some breathing techniques, some meditation, affirmations, just different things we do with her. And all of a sudden, everything around her started to change. Matter of fact, it was about, a couple of years ago, we heard from this lady and her situation had never been better. She was now married again. She had a thriving job. She had friends. It was almost like she was in a room of darkness and somebody turned on the light. It was that contrast and that different. And that's really what getting rid of limiting beliefs can do for you in your life. If you feel like you suffer with any limiting beliefs, I think the first thing to do is recognize that you have them and then possibly do some research or reach out to our organization. We'd love to help. These are things that I've seen and I've seen in my life when I get rid of the limiting. And don't get me wrong, I feel like I do a pretty good job of not buying into limiting beliefs, but there's still some that I have that I have to constantly remind myself and things that I do that show that they're still there. It's a constant battle, constant struggle, but if we do those, amazing things happen. And those are things that I've seen. I'd love your feedback. I'd love techniques and strategies that you've done to see success in your life, getting rid of limiting beliefs. And as always, I've got a free gift for you just for stopping by and visiting and watching this video. It's aaronssalestraining.com. It's a persuasion and influence course that'll help you in all areas of your life. So feel free to just click on the link below and download it. Thanks again for stopping by and watching this video. Thanks.